If you're watching this at night or you're someone who eats perfectly all day and then completely loses control in the evening, this video is for you. Because binge eating isn't happening because you're weak. It's not happening because you lack discipline, and it's not happening because you love food too much. Most binge eating happens when your brain is exhausted, your body is underfueled, and food has quietly become the most accessible regulator of relief. And I want to say something important right away. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why binge eating keeps showing up at night, and one thing you can do tonight that immediately reduces it, even if the urge is still there. Hi, I'm Zita. I'm a fitness and nutrition coach, and together with my partner Terry, who is a neuropsychology and body image coach, we help men and women over 40 escape diet prison, stop binge and emotional eating at the root, and build strong and confident bodies they always wanted to have through neuroscience, nutrition, and movement. If you are tired of blaming yourself for something that feels out of your control, stay with me. Expectations versus reality. Most people think binge eating is a food problem or a willpower problem. But if willpower fixed binge eating, you would have fixed it already. Binge eating is a system problem, a nervous system problem, and a fuel problem. And once you understand that, it stops feeling so personal. Way number one, why binge eating almost always happens after work. Let's start with the most common pattern we see. You finish work, your brain is fried, you've made decisions all day, you've held it together, and now you want relief. Food becomes the fastest reward available. Is it because you're hungry? Yes, could be the case, but let's just say you had a takeaway for dinner because you were so hungry that you just couldn't wait to prepare anything nutritious, and yet you still feel like you could eat something. Not because you're hungry, but because food gives dopamine, comfort, a mental shutdown. Think of your nervous system like a phone battery. By 6 or 7 p.m., it's in low power mode, self-control and decision-making capacity drop. And your brain says, give me something that feels good now. So this is why binge eating feels automatic at night. Not because you're broken, but because your nervous system is exhausted. Way number two, why this keeps happening even if you had a normal childhood. This part matters, and I want to keep it practical. When people hear emotional eating, they often think, I didn't have any trauma in my childhood, so this doesn't really apply to me. But emotional eating or binge eating doesn't require major trauma happen in the past or happen in childhood. Your brain only needs to learn one simple equation: food equals relief. That learning can come from years of stress, from dieting and restriction, using food as the only way to switch your brain off at night, from being good all day and needing something that feels like yours. Here's why this matters. If food has become your nervous system's main off switch, no food rule will ever work at night. This isn't about digging into the past, what happened when I was a child. It's about understanding why willpower keeps failing when you're tired. I used to do this, as a matter of fact. All our clients struggle with emotional and binge eating before they start on our 3-step fat loss reset pathway. So I know how this feels. I used to indulge in chocolate digestive biscuits along with crisps and other chocolates as well. But I broke free from this vicious cycle. Way number 3, the one thing you can do tonight that immediately helps. This is the quick win I promised. Before you binge tonight, eat protein first. Even if you still want dessert, even if you still want to snack, eat your protein first. And by protein, I mean roughly 20 to 30 grams of protein. That could be 200 to 300 grams of Greek yogurt. And you can just flavor this with strawberries, stevia, cinnamon, vanilla, and just add your favorite nut butter. Or have eggs with rice, chicken or fish, and your favorite veg with cottage cheese-based sauce. One egg equals roughly 6 grams of protein, so you would need at least 100 grams of chicken or fish and about 50 grams of cottage cheese to make up the 20 to 30 grams of protein. Or have a protein shake with about 25 grams of your favorite flavored whey protein powder. It is that simple. At the beginning, it isn't about stopping the binge cycle. It's about reducing urgency. When you have a protein-rich meal prepared when you get home, you won't reach for highly processed foods. You'll eat your nutritious meal. And what's going to happen is that protein helps buffer blood sugar spikes. Gut hormones are released, such as PYY or peptide YY and GLP-1, promoting feelings of fullness or satiety by slowing digestion and activating hunger-inhibiting pathways. Protein gives your brain time to slow down before you decide what else you want. Way number 4. Not eating enough protein during the day is fueling your binges. So many of our clients tell us, I'm not even hungry all day, then I lose control at night. When we look at their intake, it's often coffee for breakfast, a light lunch, maybe a snack, and very little protein. And your body keeps score. Under fuel all day, and it will demand compensation later. Not politely, urgently. A lot of binge eating is delayed hunger wearing an emotional mask. Way number 5. Stop making desserts forbidden. This is why you binge them. The foods you binge are usually the foods you don't feel safe eating. We had a client who would binge an entire tub of ice cream every single night. And to be precise, the top was 400 grams and nearly 1,300 calories, which was 65% of his daily calorie intake. It's crazy. And once he started, there was no pause button. He couldn't stop. Instead of banning ice cream completely, we rebuilt his favorite dessert. Same flavors he loved, but with a structured, high protein base and a portion that actually satisfied him. Same enjoyment, totally different outcome. Once ice cream wasn't forbidden anymore, the binge urge disappeared. You don't binge foods you trust yourself around. You binge foods you feel out of control with. Way number 6. Tracking isn't about control. It's about safety. If tracking has triggered obsession for you before, this is important. Diet style tracking says eat less, be perfect, and stay under numbers. That's not what we do. We use tracking as a learning tool to teach estimation, to remove fear, to show clients that one dessert doesn't ruin anything. Tracking is temporary, flexible, and supportive. The goal isn't to stop binges overnight. The goal is to make food boring again, so to speak. And when food loses its emotional drama, binges lose their power. Way number 7. Replace the binge with a specific nighttime ritual. You don't remove a habit, you replace it. If your binge happens at 9 p.m., you need a 9 p.m. ritual. Here's an example we give clients. Pause for a moment, eat your protein-rich meal first, or think about it. Did I have my protein-rich meal? No, then go and get it. And then pause. Also think about your hydration. Did I have enough water today? Because sometimes dehydration can show up as being hungry. And then slow your breathing for 2 minutes. Then choose dessert intentionally if you want it. This isn't distraction, it's nervous system regulation before food decisions. When you slow your breathing down, you shift the nervous system from sympathetic to parasympathetic. And way number 8, why accountability changes nighttime decisions. Binge eating normally happens alone. That's why it feels so hard to stop. But behavior changes when someone else is part of the system, and that someone else is your coach. Social neuroscience shows us that co-regulation improves behavior consistency, and accountability increases follow-through via anticipation effects. So what does it mean? So there's a difference between I'll not try to binge tonight and I'll check in with my coach tomorrow about how last night went. If you know that you need to check in with your coach the next day, you're less likely to engage in a binging or a binge-restrict cycle. And that one shift creates a pause, and that pause creates choice. Knowing your coach is there changes what you do when no one is watching. And this is why our one-to-one coaching works, and we help our clients rewire their negative habits, kick emotional and binge eating and sugar addiction. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this: binge eating is not self-control issue. It's a nervous system, fuel, and structure issue. And once those are in place, food stops being the enemy. If you want help breaking the binge restrict cycle and building a body you love without extremes, you can book a Vitality 360 scan with me or watch our free training in the description. And next, watch this video where I show you how to enjoy desserts daily while still losing fat after 40. You don't need more rules, you need a better system.